Good morning, folks. How are you today? Just wanted to say hi. So, I just got done setting my bed, and I'm glad it's looking smooth and it's looking real nice. This is it here. This is where I sleep. I'm glad I've showed it to you. My shirts fell. So, yeah, I don't mean to sound like, I'm taking my time or anything, but I'm here for those who who've stuck by me and are still watching because they enjoy what I've put out so far, and what I have to give. So yeah, I just wanted to do that, and I'm glad that you're all still with me, and still participating. Hi, this is Jennifer T. Class coming at you, and I know I say hi. I know with the entrance. I greeted everyone, and I did say that I was glad with them sticking by me, sticking to me, um, and just continuing to follow. And so this is from my Essence magazine of Aduba Uzo, and I wanted to Miss Uzo Aduba. I wanted to share an article that really just struck me. Um, and its title is Young, Gifted, Black, and Poor. And I thought that that was a really bold um, title for their magazine, um, their little article um, they featured on a novel called Born Bright. And it says A Young Girl's Journey from Nothing to Something in America by Nicole Mason. And so I'm going to show you what the book looks like, and I'll hold it up for you just so that you can see. It's a little girl in a tutu with a yellow shirt, and her back is to us. She seems to be playing with something. It should be a toy, a yo-yo, or a small toy, a doll or something of some sort. And this is the small summary detailing the novel and its title, Born Bright. Born Bright. And then down here is Nicole Mason's name, who's the author of the book. So I'm going to go on and read it for you. And I've been meaning to come around and read the article. And this section of Essence here it's called Scene Books. And so it says, amid all the talk of income inequality and judgments against the poor, a ripped from the headlines memoir that charts an unseen young black girl's climb from abject poverty to academic success emerges. So this is the article summary to Essence here. And let me just read what the article is about. Somewhere along our early elementary path, we all get this question: what do you want to be when you grow up? This is what was supposed what was posed to Nicole Mason, and it kicks off her striking memoir, Born Bright, a young girl's journey from nothing to something in America. St. Martin's Press, 26.99. So I had to change the light around because, I wanted to see what I was reading. So um, I definitely have done it, and I'm going to pick up the article with you again. Now Mason is executive director of the Center for Research and Policy in the Public Interest. However, back then she was a smart youngin' growing up in Linwood, California. Mason's response to the question of her future path? None. Decades later, she recalls the impact of this conversation on her. I came across a study revealing that inner city kids were asked to draw the world. They drew their immediate neighborhoods, the corner store, the local carryouts, and their houses. Conversely, when middle class and affluent kids were asked to do the same, they drew countries such as China and those in Europe. I believe if I had been given the task of drawing the world as a young child, I would have drawn my neighborhood too. That was my world, and I could not see beyond it. In vivid detail, Mason charts her path from that world and many other worlds she would inhabit on her way to realizing her extraordinary potential. And she does so without seeking any pity or falling into the familiar trap that she was an exception to a rule. In fact, Mason argues that there are many women and men like her who overcame the painful restrictions that are an integral part of growing up black and poor in America. Her story packs several wallops. She realistically captures her mother, a 16-year-old single parent whose stunning beauty is equally matched by her vituperative personality. Mason puts us in her shoes. As she matter of factly details her family's weekly visits to see her father in jail, where she was incarcerated for possession of a controlled substance with the intent to distribute. The author also takes us into the day to day reality of being impoverished. A $20 gift could yield chicken, flour, milk, bread, bologna, and a can of Del Monte corn for bologna sandwiches for lunch, and fried chicken and corn for dinner. I'm glad that Mason wrote this urgent memoir, showing not only what poverty looks like, but what it feels like as well. No matter your financial status, you will be far better off after having read Born Bright. Not just because it's a powerful story, but also because it's one so damn seldom heard. PHB. So it shows a dash there and PHB. So the, and I'm going to show you that the author of the article is not publicly revealed. So it is a P, H, and a B. So they didn't publicly reveal the name of who has written this article here. With the book here and see Nicole Mason here. This is her, the author. So I've shown you to her. And yeah, so I'm just going to be discussing um, just what I think of the article. I know what being black and poor, young and gifted is, um, but the article titles it Young, Gifted, Black, and Poor. Um, it sounds a little, you know, just racially, um, without a little racially without any sort of regard, any sort of there's no racial regard with how they've titled the article here. There's no sort of I guess supposing people won't pay attention since Essence magazine are mostly black readers, persons of color. Um, yes, it didn't seem like they gave any value to the the title. I guess because persons of color um, do have issues of problems being able to law abide, um, being able to abide with those that are in their community in a neighborly manner, um, and sort of just community appropriate form. Um, and I know that things involving persons in a black community, because of their color, their lives can become just a slightly oppressed, slightly because persons who are lighter as well as fair skinned, um, pale, pale and pale, fair colored aren't really as open to um, just being susceptible to other persons of color being around them, and mostly because their families are white and those are the people that they know. Okay, so this is why it's this sort of issue as to blacks who complain the issue of how whites aren't really involved in their interest or involved in really accepting them a part of their interest because of the issue of black parts being written out and then adding in white characters over them and just such chronicles as that, having to do with just being written off because you're not the interest that they want to participate anymore. I know I come from a time like this, but I can't really say that I've seen anything like it. It's just my explanation as to um, just what the black focus on experience um, and their experience with it has been for them. So I just I just really, I feel for them because I know at times just because I'm light colored doesn't mean that I'm more easily accepted. Okay, and it's something that I know that a lighter skinned person comes to learn. Okay, because I mean, lighter people have been called the N word just as well. And you understand, it's not like, you know, we, I mean, I'm not going to say that the black mindset, because we're aware of what things are, such things that are oppressive, okay, we don't have the sense commonly to understand that, oh, well, you need to think more positively and not think of yourself so beneath. Okay. And so, um, it's really just a matter of keeping an open mind and thinking of yourself uh, just appropriate, just caringly, okay? Because you are a life, and you care about your life as an individual being. So I care about why I wonder as to why they featured the little girl in the front here. This little girl right here, because I know that um, there's only a very small edit in this article here that talks about just a 16-year-old mother bringing up her daughter, and just being middle class. The I suppose it has to do with inner city kids, and just the helping hands and adults that have to do with the system towards um, education, and I guess education's accredited, because I know that there are other accreditations there I've heard of, especially with trade schools. So I'm not gonna go all over that, but just really um, them working with kids, and um, toward towards the community programs. So let me just. I know that there are community trade schools, trade high schools they call them. There's the Community Trade High School of Penn Foster, and I live in the Tampa area, here in my area of Riverview, Florida, and just Riverview, Gibsonton, and honestly, to tell you the truth, just just I saw the ad. We have ads that run on television, and I saw an ad on television of Penn Foster, with the graduates, and their gowns, cap gowns, tassels, and just with them detailing. There's also another school that I call that's called Southern New Hampshire University, SNHU, and the bus that is another ad for a school college um, of trade, um, f- that runs in Florida. Um, I haven't done my research on the schools yet, but that's just an example of the different sorts of accreditation that I was talking about, um, and their outreach in the community with kids. I guess there are local magnet schools that have to do with trade schools, um, where you can earn credits, um, where you can start your child early. I believe you can have your child start early as a youngster, and then boost them to public school. I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not sure how public school is and how public school works nowadays. I don't know what they've been up to, but it is something that I like to know. I mean, it's something that I have questions about. Um, they're supposed to be public school, um, that with accreditation to state from the state to be able to go to college, university, or stateswide to be able to go from elementary grade school and elementary to middle school, and then from there to high school, from middle school to high school. So I'm not sure just what public school is doing really, what or how up to date it is for nowadays, these times, and just lately. um but this is something that I have questions about, and something that I would like to know, and get information about. If I had, right now, I'm going through this situation with our internet, and if I did have the internet, I'd be able to research such things. But I actually post from home and then post to the internet, which is what I'm actually waiting to do. I haven't done it yet. So I'm waiting to post my progress with my lab, my HP lab, to video vlogs on to the internet, on the internet. So I'm still awaiting to do that, and I'm just being patient. I know it's a matter of time. I have several vids that I've been doing, that I've done. Um, um, but it's just I'm doing them, and I've done them. I have done them. I'm going to post. It's just they're waiting to be posted online. So I'm just working on that focus there. I honestly think that kids, and young people like me, young persons of color, um, are actually left to themselves, having to do with public school and all sorts of school programs that they do while they attend, for the years that they attend until graduation, or the years that they attend in middle school until the next step to high school. Um, I really feel like young people, persons of color, are left to themselves often to just figure out what they're supposed to do. And I feel like, you know, that they do these programs mostly for us, thinking that, oh, well, we're going to attend because, we're underprivileged, but just not because, I don't feel like they do the programs because they want us to do any better. They want some sort of um, mental and educational advanced evolvement from us. I don't feel like they've demanded such a thing from us. I feel like they've demanded such a thing from their white students and not enough from black students. They just expect us to come to the programs and um, fill our seat there, and then just do the assignment and turn in. But I don't feel like they're demanding a sort of mental evolvement. Um, well, that from us as students. I mean, at least in my experience as a student, my experience being a student, I didn't feel I didn't have a lot of teachers who expected some sort, or demanded, excuse me, some sort of mental, um, educative, advanced evolvement out of me. You understand? I felt like they just left me to it and left me to just figure it out. And I feel like that tends to stray a lot of young, focused persons, um, rather than really take them in and make them and help them, and then be able to make them feel some sort of emotional um, welledness, to be able to keep continue to follow process to the and our the program. You understand? Um, just to be able to understand for themselves that this is and it is towards a good for them. Yeah. So this is all I've mustered today, folks. I'm gonna say I'm gonna leave it at that for now. Um, and I also would like to thank you for listening to my thoughts. Um, I only ask that you have a willing ear when you listen to what I'm discussing, what I've discussed, and I also want to say that thank you for your support, and please like, comment, and subscribe. I will come back at you with more. I only seek your patience. This is all I ask, and I ask for yours in return. Um, and I only hope to get better at it, get better at this, and that I'm still able to continue to come back and discuss more. Um, so I don't want to go overboard, but if there's a need for me to come back and discuss this issue, an issue like it, um, I'm going to do it because I really like this issue here, and I can't wait to edit it. This is what I'm hoping to do, and it will happen. It's just a matter of time and a wait. Um, to make it possible. So I'll leave it at that. Um, be nice when you comment and try to get along with each other and be fair. All right. So I'll get back at you guys and we'll discuss again. Bye. Oh, yes. Back to the discussion. Before I forget anything, I just wanted to add that in the margin here where they talk about a $20 gift could yield chicken, flour, milk, bread, bologna, and a can of Del Monte corn for bologna sandwiches for lunch and fried chicken and corn for dinner. Um, this is still pertaining to C. Nicole Mason's memoir called Born Bright. Um, yes. So I think that section there of the article has to do with honestly food benefits that are governmental. I believe that has to do with raising youngsters. Um, and I know that food benefits are available for adults who are impoverished and are unemployed and aren't able to come by means of a job, okay, because their living situation and status are not normal. Um, so they either live on the street or they live resident to resident, um, resident to home to residential home. So yes, um, I guess it's showing what poverty looks like and what it feels like as well. I mean, this is what I'm reading from the article. Um, no matter your financial status, um, and I guess regardless of financial status, that some people might honestly, some people might view your I guess the sort of groceries that you buy and brands in particular that you purchase and just the pricing on some of them as a little cheap and sometimes a little impoverished. And I know that people like to buy like that, especially with COVID that's going around and the markets and people who have been on the honestly the rush um, Friday buys, having to do with appliances at greater supercenter and superstores like Walmart. Um, I know that when I was in New York and I was staying with my father, I had applied for food stamps while I was over there. So um, I hadn't I hadn't been with anyone. I hadn't any kids with me. I haven't had kids yet. So I wasn't it wasn't easy for me to come by means of a job because I was staying at a shelter. I had stayed at two shelters when I was over there and was hoping to find some work to be able to afford me a place to stay as well as, um, my means of nourishment, um, and affording my place to stay um, month to month. So I know that I started a few little hobbies before I had started and embarked on living in New York. And I know one is scrapbooking. Um, I was going through the newspapers and then I found some ads, and there were a bunch of newspaper ads, um, color ads that I was able to look through. And then an idea came to me that told me that um, maybe I should just grab my journal because my mom had several, like a few couple stacks there. And I thought that if I grabbed one, I could start to scrapbook some of the foods that really would draw me to buy to the um, journal book that I had. And then I'll be able to leaf through my journal book and then just purchase stuff that I would like to buy every month. And then honestly purchase stuff off the top of my head. And I thought that was a good idea. And so I started to cut and paste and scrapbook some of the stuff that I wanted to get from my fridge, things that I'd like to get from my house. So um, I know that there are some um, affordable habits that impoverished people are able to do just to be able to afford budgeting um, and maintain their budget within uh, financial credibility for the month and month to month. And I thought my idea of scrapbooking and then listing the price with the little photo of the market foods that I cut out would definitely help me to be able to know how to buy and know what I'd like to buy. So I did that. I think another one you could do is, I guess, tape them to Xerox paper and then put them in the plastic leaflets, sort of like a square plastic paper case, plastic casement, and then you could place your things that you cut out of a scrapbook in there, and then leaf over, and then you buy a stack of those plastic casements, and then have your stack of Xerox there, and all of your ads, newspaper ads ready with you to scrap your Xerox pages and then place your completed artwork in the plastic casements. And then you have your book, your small scrapbook where you can keep in your kitchen of what you'd like to buy for the month. And then keep it there for as long as you like, as well as coupons you cut out to be able to help your budget your buy in your kitchen to the fridge and such. Um, so I'm just sharing ideas that are helpful, and I know some of what I've talked about can be very helpful, is very helpful, and entertaining as well, so that you may enjoy what you're doing. Um, So I think in the book it definitely discusses how the 16-year-old mother of her story and just her child, um, because she has a father in jail. It explains she budgets her money to be able to afford what she needs just to be able to take care of herself and her young baby, because she's a young teen mother. So yes, so quite honestly, um it gives me an idea, and I know that I've been through food stamps myself. I know that when I have kids, if I ever have anything financially shakeable, or I am financially unstable, I would definitely lean to food stamps, to be able to help them. And that's honestly worst, most extreme case scenario for them. Um, is why I would do that. I know a lot of parents wouldn't dare do that, and it's such a stress and a pain to know how poor you are, okay, and realize that you could have done better, especially if you already have those in your family and those in your friend who are your friends judging you, or who have judged you because of some honest mistakes that you've made in the past. You understand? It's a stress when you realize that you have to lean financially on governmental benefits to afford stuff for your kids, because just because of those bad remarks and those irresponsible times, makes you look bad. That reflects on your children if you have them, okay? And especially if you've had a bad past and then you've gone on and have had kids, okay? That reflects on them, and that definitely reflects with your character with other people, especially if they know these sort of details about you. So, um, I won't get too far in with that, because that's not the point. That's not the most I guess valuable um, idea to the discussion, but it is helpful advice. And so, just I know that I don't sound so prepared, but um, I definitely enjoy vlogging advice, especially vloggers that have advice to give, vloggers that enjoy self help and helping people out there, sharing it online with others, because that makes a difference. Okay, um, it's a wonderful thing to do. And quite honestly, you can even become your own guru over YouTube, and start a following. I know that I'm starting a following, and it's definitely something I'm trying to do, that I've been doing, um, because I have other vids. I'm just waiting to post them. But I'm not going to put any pressure. It's just, a matter of my being able to get connected, just to be able to do that, because I'm not financially stable right now. And I'm looking to find employment, but it's just been a little unstable and shaky lately. I'm just hoping for the lay work, um, just the lay, the bridged stability, to be able to really come in and gain that stability, just to be able to um, be sure, and come through and do that. So I've read further about Miss C. Nicole Mason's new book called Born Bright. And since I've read further, let me read just part of what I found out about her article, what I've just learned. So it says her story packs several wallops. She realistically captures her mother, a 16-year-old single parent whose stunning beauty is equally matched by her vituperative personality. Mason puts us in her shoes as she matter of factly details her family's weekly visits to see her father in jail, where he was incarcerated for possession of a controlled substance with intent. Um, so the author has takes us to into the day-to-day reality of being impoverished. So, which leads me to think that her book is actually a biography and not just Black literature novel. Because I thought she was writing a story about a character in her having to do with real to life details of being young, black, and impoverished. Um, and then when I reread it over further and over, I realized that it's actually chronicling her experiences, and it's an autobiography, um, as well as a sort of document, real to life documentary to literature about her experiences being a young, gifted Black person, okay, and how her mother really had been able to pull through for her. Um, so I'm hoping in the story, which is most definitely probably a a a fact, a fact of reality, that she's definitely included um, her experiences and how she's come through with her school and how she is a writer today. Okay, a Black author and successively. So yeah, it's definitely a read to look into. I look forward to really purchasing the book. Um, and I'm going to go about my ways to be able to do that. And if I do that, I will share that with you when I do that. So um, you heard it from me. And so I definitely am glad that I've covered it. I've been able to sit down and discuss the author's book. And this is Miss Nicole Mason. I show you her here again. Here she is, and a small detail of her at the end there, and her book here, Born Bright. A young girl's journey from nothing to something in America. So yes, um, so I thank you. I thank you that you people have actually sat with me and listened to my discussions and especially my presentations about Essence Magazine. I definitely have another magazine coming. I have to talk to my mother first. Um, I know I've been through just a little tiff with her, and hopefully um, I will be able to overcome that. Um, and and care so much about what I'm doing and care so much about her, my mother, um, because with Miss C. Nicole Mason and her story of how her mother pulled her through being a young, gifted, poor Black young lady with dreams. Um, I most definitely have, you know, the same experience with my mother, and she's definitely a role model and someone I look forward to getting to know and getting into, just so that I can learn about her and what her experiences have been, just so I can see how hers differs from mine. And if I am anything close to the sort of experience that she was before her success, um, it'll definitely give me the comfort I'm looking for. Because I most certainly feel alone at times, lonely at times, because um, I don't feel like I know enough people, and I don't feel like I know enough people who are living the experience, this sort of experience that I'm living as a young woman of color who's impoverished, well, and just gifted and poor. You understand? But young and gifted nonetheless. Um, and so hopefully, I'm hoping that I can rise and become successive myself, and that her story can make a difference to me, because this is something that is featured in an article, and I took my time. I went out of my way to read about it, whereas some people would have ignored the article, um, and gave a cold shoulder, a cold cheek, and not even dared look. um, I went out of my way to sit down and give a read through, and I most definitely read the article and read through. And so I'm hoping that, because what her book is about, that my financial investment in her book and owning a copy most definitely will make a difference in my life, and just change this status that I am in, this difficult, um, uh, just this difficult emotional prison that I've been in, because it's definitely what it's felt like for me. Even though I don't know enough people to cause them trouble, I don't understand why I'm in these sorts of trouble. But, I've explained to you that I am a word reader. I do read the Bible, um, and I believe in God. I pray to God. I'm hoping that there is a God that cares, that I do listen to Christian music, and it does help therapeutically. I know at times I do get nervous just because, you know, um, issues of my identity being a colored person and all, um, that I hope doesn't clash with the Christian music, because at times I feel like it's a whole other culture um, that Christian music praises to. So I I'll just say that, and I won't go extremely overboard and make any careless comments um, any further concerning that. But hopefully, with my investment, and after some um, downtime, some tender, some tender loving care with my mother, you know, some consideration for sensitivity, I'll be able to overcome and get through this. And that is a feat, a most definitely a concurrence that I'm hoping to overcome, to get over, um, and get over the a difficult hill. Okay, a difficult mountain. Um, Turn a new leaf. Okay. Even if leaves can be sometimes as big and several feet long. I'm hoping to do that and get through this difficult time with my mother, because she definitely wants some success out of me, and I don't blame her. It just hasn't been as easy for me because I just feel like the enemy has been just so clever, altogether too clever, and kept me away from things necessarily necessities that I needed being a young person. So I know that there is a God. I will continue to stand up to the devil and fight, reading word every day, and I will overcome this. And it'll get better for me, for us. And so I'll leave it at that. I say that, and I'll smile with that.